What is going on YouTube? It's That's Random, back with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be diving into why I think the XFL will succeed when the AAF failed. The reason the AAF failed, in my opinion, is because they had inferior football to the NFL, or so NFL fans thought. The NFL biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, went on right before the AAF season started. So NFL fans saw the best football of the year and then saw this brand of football that wasn't that good. And they didn't give themselves enough time to spread the word, to get their product out there. The XFL gave themselves about a year or 2 years to get their product out there, get everything in order, and the AAF had to fold because they didn't have enough money and they didn't have enough time to get everything in order. AT&T's new commercial saying, their new slogan is "just okay is not okay." And that's what the AAF was. It was just okay. The XFL has had a bunch of time to get everything in order, and the AAF didn't, like I said earlier. They've been getting their whole rosters together, getting their drafts together. They've been getting their teams together. And they've been putting their teams in places that want to see football. Like in St. Louis. St. Louis lost a football team, the St. Louis Rams, now the LA Rams. So they're desperate to see some football, in my opinion. So the XFL bringing a football team there is great. And Tampa Bay, that's a great football place. Even though they already have the Buccaneers, I think those two teams will thrive in their new cities. Another reason I think the XFL will succeed and the AAF didn't is because a lot of NFL fans have left watching the NFL because they just don't want to watch it anymore, or they're still mad at the NFL from when players were kneeling during the national anthem. Just a whole lot of reasons. And the XFL has said,
now what about the players? As you know, there's a wealth of talented players that we can draw from, but in the XFL, the quality of the human being is going to be as important as the quality of the player.
So if players want to see good quality football from people that are good people, the XFL is where it's at. They got everything squared away in the XFL, and they've spread the word about the XFL. The AAF kind of just popped up and was like, come watch our team if you heard about them. If you hadn't heard about them, you were like, what's this? New football league that just came in out of nowhere? Huh? But the XFL, they announced 2 years ago. And some people might be laughing at the XFL like, you sucked when you came in 2001. But they're going to be different. They've had time to look at what they did wrong, what they should do this time. I think that they will be able to make a set of rules that football players and fans want to see, which will bring them even more fans. The XFL Draft just happened, I think, 1 or 2 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and some really good players got into the XFL. The XFL got some good players, and I'm just going to highlight a few good players that they got right now. They got Michigan State great, and he had a little success in the NFL. He started a few games. Connor Cook. They got Matt McGloin, Penn State great, but he didn't have much success in the NFL. They got Landry Jones, longtime backup to Ben Roethlisberger, that was amazing at Oklahoma, had over 16,000 passing yards, and is paired with his college football coach, Bob Stoops. So I think they'll be a dynamic duo in the XFL. Tyree Jackson, a former player for Buffalo, he was 6'7" and he went to Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills going undrafted last year, but he has a bunch of raw talent. He's a really, really good player, and I think he will thrive in the XFL. Next, we have Aaron Murray, who I made a whole video on him. And I think that he will do really, really well in the XFL. He didn't do too well in the AAF. he wasn't the starter at the start of the season, but he did end up winning the starting job, but he did really bad there. So we'll just have to look for him. I made like I said, a whole video, and I'll put the link in the description down below if you want to watch that video. I think he will do really good. Some people call him the best quarterback in SEC history, but he just hasn't been getting into enough of a rhythm, getting back into football to really show out and be a great football player. But I think if he starts getting back into the football mindset, he will do really good. Cardale Jones is another player. He is an Ohio State great. He helped Ohio State win their national championship whenever they made it to the national championship in 2017. And he didn't really have a shot in the NFL, but if he gets a shot in the XFL, I think he will do great. The last two players on the list, my list of like really standout players that they got, Coney Ealy, he was a NFL starter, solid NFL player for a couple years. I think he'll do well in the XFL. And my last player is Chris Davis, who's famous for the Auburn versus Alabama kick six. He was actually the player that returned it to the end zone to beat Alabama and help Auburn go to the national championship. So, yeah, that's why I think the XFL has a really, really good shot at being better than the AAF. They have some great talent, some players that I just highlighted for you. And comment down below, do you think the AAF will do really good in 2020 when they start February 2020 or March 2020? I personally think they will. Also, if you want to see any other videos about the XFL or see a video on any of the players I highlighted and go into more depth about them, I can do that. Yeah, I'll just see you next video. Peace.